Welcome into the Baltimore Ravens Rundown, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joey Petersen. So happy that you have joined us. Coming up on today's show, we're going to break down the top notable Baltimore Ravens cut candidates going into the 2026 NFL season, okay? I'm going to give you 5 names that I believe could be getting the axe over the next couple of months or so to help Baltimore save a little bit of money to then help them spend a little bit more money come free agency. Drop a name for me. Name a player that you think the Ravens should cut. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. You'll see it right below the video. I want you to reply it, drop your name, because I really, really want to hear from you guys on this. The first person we're going to talk about, probably not a surprise to many, is Marlon Humphrey. This is a guy who was not in the good graces of a lot of Baltimore Ravens fans, myself included, towards the end of this past season, and for good reason. Now, if you just look at the year overall, like overarching, it's a good season. 68 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a sack, 13 pass breakups. Like, that's all well and good. But to me, it was the effort that he played with. He got lost in coverage, burnt in coverage by like an 80-year-old Adam Thielen in the biggest moment of the season. And his cap hit in 2026 is $26.28 million. Now, the interesting thing about Marlon is if you cut him pre-June 1st, $7.33 million. But if you wait until after June 1st, that bumps all the way up to $19.26 million in savings. Now, the reason you'd make someone a pre-June 1st cut, because then you could use that money for free agency, which starts on March 11th. If you dedicate someone to be a post-June 1st cut, they can still go sign with anybody at any time, even before June 1st. You just don't see any of that money until 6/1. The trade value, probably. Like, I think you could deal Marlon Humphrey. It'd probably have to be a restructure whenever he gets to his new team. But I still think he brings a decent bit of name value that a player or a team across the National Football League might just think they're a cornerback away, and they might think that cornerback is Marlon Humphrey. Look, I have come to the end of my rope. I'm tired of the lack of effort. I'm tired of the bad attitude. I'm tired of the bad play on the field. I'm tired of him not wanting to tackle anybody, not wanting to hit anybody. I'm tired of Marlon Humphrey. Do you want Humphrey gone? If you do, hit that thumbs up button. Like today's video for me, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and blow up that like button if you want to see 44, not in purple and gold next year. Broderick Washington is the next one. Now, this one might be a surprise to some. We'll get to why that might be in just a couple of seconds. But I actually think this has a legitimate chance of happening. His cap hit is $5.86 million. You don't save any more money waiting until after June 1st than you do pre-June 1st. $4 million saved with a cut of Broderick Washington. The trade value is like maybe, but probably not. Like, he's not going to be the key guy in a trade that you make. He might just be a guy that you put in on the back end. Now, part of the reason for that is because of the Achilles injury he suffered this year. It's the reason he only played 3 games in 2025. Now, it was lucky enough not to be a complete tear. So it's not like it's going to just frighten everybody that he just tore his Achilles. But it still is notable for a guy at his age that just went through an injury like that. Now, I think the big question when it comes into Broderick Washington is like, how's the depth and the defensive tackle spot? Because that's the sticking point to me. Part of that also being Nnamdi Madubuike's health. Look, I feel like the sentiment on Nnamdi is there's a decent chance he doesn't play a down of football again. He's been in the NFL for a decent amount of time, dealing with a neck injury. Those are serious. You don't want to play around with those, man. And I would not be shocked if we never see him suit up again. So do you have the luxury of cutting Broderick Washington when even without him and Nnamdi Madubuike, you are very thin at that position? I think that's the question they need to answer over the next couple of months. But if you do cut one of those first 2, I think you'll cut Broderick first. Trenton Simpson is another guy that I think could possibly be a cut candidate. Now, after the Teddy Buchanan injury, this may have changed a little bit, but I still think it's worth the conversation. His cap hit isn't crazy, $1.71 million. same boat as Broderick Washington. You'd save the same amount of money if you cut him pre and post June 1st of $1.5 million. I don't think he has any trade value. Look, no team is going to trade for a linebacker who wasn't the starter all season long the last 2 years. In fact, he got benched last season, like the 2024 season, and then he got overplayed by a rookie, and the only reason he got reps at the end of the year is because that rookie got injured. And, I will say this, Trenton Simpson played some good football when he came in late in the year after Buchanan went down. 66 tackles, 4 for loss, 2.5 sacks. He still flashes every now and then. But the thing is Teddy Buchanan's going to be back. You're not going to let go of Roquan Smith. Would not be surprised if linebacker was something they addressed in the draft this year. So you think cutting Trenton Simpson might be the best call, save a little bit more money. I could see them feeling that way. Do you think Trenton Simpson will get cut? Give me a yes or give me a no down below in the comment section. Weigh in with your answer and let me know. If your question is, what's the coolest gear for the best price? Well, I got some for you. Chatsports.com/RavensT. You can get this really, really cool looking Ravens t-shirt for 50% off. I'll tell you this right now, guys. This is our first time ever pushing this. And when I was looking for sale items today, I usually, click the sale items section, and then I saw this, and I was like, there's no way that thing's on sale. And it's only $17. I think this is the coolest shirt we've pushed yet. 50% off chatsports.com/RavensT. I know you need a new wardrobe. I know summer is not close, but spring's just around the corner, kind of. You need a new shirt. You need a new year. New year, new you, new merch. Okay, chatsports.com/RavensT. That's in the link. Or that link is in the comment description of today's video. Cooper Rush. Let's talk about Cooper. A guy that I think maybe, funny enough, even though he's a backup quarterback, I feel like he might have had the most disappointing season of anybody on this team in 2025. I was so excited about the signing of Cooper Rush because I just thought it gave this team some assurance that they necessarily hadn't had in years past, but it was a disaster. And he's got almost a $3 million cap hit this year. This is a guy who I believe they're going to wait till after June 1st because the savings jump up from $450,000 to $2.1 million. Fortunately, he's got zero trade value. None whatsoever. And the reason because of that is in the 4 games you saw him this year, he was horrendous. 303 yards, 65.4% completion percentage. Didn't throw a touchdown, but wanted to throw 4 interceptions. And he had his spot. He had his time to shine. Lamar goes down. It's Cooper Rush time, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you signed a backup quarterback, and it was horrible. So, no, you're not going to trade him. And Tyler Huntley, what more does he need to prove? That is this team's backup quarterback forever until he's out of the league. I hope. Andrew Vorhees, speaking of guys who I think should maybe be out of the league, let's talk about the left guard for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, it is apparent to me this team likes Daniel Falele more than they do Andrew Vorhees. I don't necessarily feel that way, but if that's the case, Vorhees might be in the chopping block because you could save a little bit over $1 million. Now, he doesn't have any trade value unless some team is just absolutely desperate. But you got to think that Baltimore is looking to pick offensive guard in the first 2 rounds of this year's draft. I think they should pick offensive guard in the first 2 rounds of this year's draft. And if they do that, they've got that young guy, that new guy with Emory Jones. Those are your 2 guards. Andrew Vorhees is going to be a backup for good reason. Look at those PFF grades. They're absolutely disgusting. So if you feel like you could save some money, then Andrew Vorhees might go ahead and be a cut candidate. It's going to be an interesting offseason. I think there's going to be a decent bit of roster moves made. I think you're going to go out and get somebody. I don't want to say, I don't want to get your hopes up and say this team's about to make a big signing because I don't know how big that's going to be. I do think they're going to bring a notable name, though, at a notable position. And to do that, you need money. And to get that, you got to cut some of these players. Who's the most likely to get cut? You let me know down below in the comment section. MH for Marlon Humphrey, BW for Broderick Washington, TSCR or AV. Let me know down below. We're going to get on out of here, but make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, Follow me on social media. You can see my handles up here on the screen like they always are at the end of videos. So make sure, give me a follow, and we'll see you next time.